Welcome to Haxby Shed. This is my son's Golf Mk5 2-litre TDI 4Motion that he's got just recently, and he's been checking it over, and there's only one thing that he really needs to do to service it, to get it up to spec, and he's changing this rear caliper.
Yeah, so I bought this new caliper because this old one was basically seized on. So when I spun the wheel, it was binding quite badly. And when I've gone to check the brake, I was hoping that these, you can't really see in this shot, but there's some pins here, the slider pins, which can be seized, but they're perfect. So unfortunately, it meant when I checked the piston on here, it was seized solid. So even though the handbrake mechanism isn't seized, the actual piston itself is. So I've got this nice refurbished caliper.
So that was, you ordered that yesterday and got it this morning, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, last night.
From Euro Car Parts?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks nice unit.
It's good. So these Golf Mk5s and quite a few other VW Group cars have these very short hard pipe sections which go directly on the caliper in there, and they connect to the flexi pipe here. But usually what happens is these unions actually seize onto the pipes.
Yeah.
And when you go to fit these into the new caliper, if this is binding a bit,
yeah,
you usually end up cross-threading it, or it's very easy to cross-thread into the caliper.
Yeah.
So normally what I do is I make a new pipe up.
Okay.
And just chuck the old one. But this one's so good that I just don't need to. So really lucky there. But if you ever have to change a caliper on one of these, you need to be bearing in mind you're probably going to need to change this pipe. Here's a trick that you can do on most cars, well, all cars I think. If you put something to apply just a little bit of pressure on the brake pedal, like what we've got here, or a broom handle or something, when you undo the hydraulic lines on the brake pipes, you will get minimal dripping. So most of you won't get air inside the lines, and the fluid won't all just run out. Just doing that closes a valve in the master cylinder and sort of seals the circuit. So it's much easier to bleed the brakes once you get it all back together. So we'll take that out now and do a bleed.
We found a bit of a problem. Even though this caliper is new, remanufactured, we found that the piston was binding, and somehow we think that the rubber shield was not sitting properly inside and was making the piston stiff. So we've had to unscrew it out off the handbrake rod, and we've seated it correctly now, we think, and we're just screwing it back in. Yeah, it looks different now, doesn't it? The rubber's not pulled like it was. Well, hopefully the piston will move freely now. It just goes to show that even when you buy the proper parts, you're sometimes caught out, aren't you? Well, we're done, and we've got there in the end. We had those few problems. We had to reseat the piston and the dust seal, as you saw. We found an over-adjusted handbrake, which my son's just easing off now. But also, we didn't change the pads. We probably should have done, but we didn't want to spend that money just now. And then the pads were a bit unevenly worn and quite cruddy on the back, and we had to free that off as well to get the pads to release properly on the disc. The discs are in good condition, so soon enough he'll put a new set of pads in as well, both sides of course. Anyway, I hope that was useful to you. Thank you for watching Haxby Shed.